There, how's that? Good.
Let me ask you a question. Why do we keep messing with the Waffle House people? Here's this video that's going viral. There's a big fight. Waffle House employees clearly winning. A woman decides, oh, I'm going to throw a chair at this woman. She does. And the woman catches it like Neo from the Matrix. She puts it down. Does this woman look like she's scared? No. She looks like she's done this 13 times in the course of the last 2 days. Here's the thing. When you and I go to a job, we fill out a W-9, we go to work. These people tape up their fists with glue and glass like they're in the movie Kickboxer. Most restaurants, they'll charge you for extra bacon, maybe a little extra syrup. At the Waffle House, they charge you for assault, and that's only if you lose the fight. Let me ask you a question.
Hey everyone, it's January 2nd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you shared with notorious Scottish serial killer Ian Brady, best known for the Moors murders, killing at least 5 children with his accomplice, Myra Hindley. And that is him right up there. Brady was born in Glasgow as Ian Duncan Stewart, we have the same middle name, in 1938, growing up in an impoverished neighborhood. He was being raised by a single mother who gave him up for adoption to a local family that raised him as one of their own. Known to throw tantrums when he couldn't get his way, he often violently banged his own head against the wall. His biological mother would visit and bring gifts, and as a boy he realized that he had been adopted. He was an unpopular child, being both bad at sports and having a moody disposition, but was an excellent student, thought to be smart but unmotivated. Fascinated by World War II era Germany, he would always insist on being the German when boys would play war games. As a teen, he started smoking, bullying younger children, and torturing small animals. After several brushes with the law, the courts demanded that he be sent away to live with his biological mother, who had married an Irishman living in England, and he took his stepfather's name, becoming Ian Brady. As a Scot in England, he was an outcast and retreated into the world of books, especially those by the Marquis de Sade and Friedrich Nietzsche. He collected books about sadomasochism and torture and found himself in trouble with the law again for theft and public drunkenness. In 1961, he met Myra Hindley, who would become his accomplice, and you can find out more about her in my video from July 23rd. She shared his fascination with morbid things, and the pair would take photos of themselves acting out sadomasochistic fantasies. They turned their fantasies into reality in 1963, sexually assaulting and killing a teen girl, smashing her skull with a shovel before slicing her throat. Her body remained buried east of Manchester in the Saddleworth Moor for over 20 years. They followed that with the murder of two 12-year-old boys who were both buried in the moor. Next was the murder of a 10-year-old girl, and finally a 17-year-old boy. Brady took photos of the 10-year-old's body, and an audio tape was recorded by Brady and Hindley while they sexually assaulted their victim. These are their 5 confirmed killings, though Brady later claimed they murdered at least 10 children. They were caught because Hindley's brother-in-law was visiting when they killed their final victim and was asked to help move the body. After helping clean up because he feared for his own life, he fled to the police, and the two were arrested straight away. The death penalty was abolished in England after Brady and Hindley were arrested, so they both received life sentences. Hindley died while incarcerated in 2002, and Brady spent 19 years in a prison before being sent to a mental hospital in 1985, where he died in 2017. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a
Asia me a blue hat. It really playing games people say are fake.
Off the top at 6, police body cam video of a bus gone bad.
So I used to jokingly drink at this white supremacist bar.
I was watching Skinamarink, but this has piqued my interest.
Wave everybody. Copy and damage, pay damage, bad boy. Stay behind.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Oh boy, I'm hungry. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something to eat in the kitchen. I'm just grabbing something to eat in the kitchen. Oh. Alexa, turn on 4.
Okay.
Alexa, turn off 4.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on 4.
Okay.
Watch this. I'm gonna make a prank call. Memorial Hospital, Jasper, Indiana.
Here are the listings for Memorial Hospital Jasper near Jasper. You have reached Memorial Hospital and Healthcare Center. If you know your party's 4-digit extension, you can dial.
Yes, my name's Charles Von Braun. I just moved here from Argentina, and I was wondering if you had. I'm a surgeon. See, my family had to flee Europe after the war, and I was wondering if you had extra space. See, LifeSpring contacted me. They have local dregs on the state I can use for my surgical research. Do you have any facilities I can do my surgical research for? What dregs of the state are trying to get rid of that they made me a good deal on to do my surgical research. My grandfather was in surgical research during the war in Germany, and of course we had to flee to Argentina. My young father had to flee to Argentina after the war, for certain reasons, and I'm just taking up my grandfather's research.
Okay.
I'm trying to make a master race out of the mentally ill.
You what?
I'm trying to redo my grandfather's research on making a super soldier master race out of the mentally ill.
Okay, who are you wanting to talk to here?
Well, I don't know. It's just get the ear out that there's a guy. He's a proud German, and he'll be in town. He'll be applying next Monday morning. I got to get things finished up here around the house. I live temporary here in Florida, and I got to get things finished up. I'll be flying in and get the house purchased there in Jasper and get moved in and get things tidied up there. I'm a very professional surgeon, and I'm willing to work. Do charity work for fine residents. I do anything. I'm a quite skilled surgeon, anything from appendicitis, anything like that for charity and at low cost for your fine people, your community. And I would like to join your surgical team.
Okay, let me go ahead and send you to,
Well, I gotta go. My wife is calling me for dinner. I'll contact you guys tomorrow morning. My wife's just made a wonderful sauerbraten. Oh, she is such a fine wife. She made a fine sauerbraten and iced tea, and yeah. And I gotta go. She gets mad if I don't visit her for dinner. And my beautiful, I have 7 blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids who would happily join the school system there. Is it a good school there? They're all middle school and high school. Are they good? They're very bright students.
what's that?
Is the school system good there? They're all blonde-haired, blue-eyed
Excellent.
German.
Yeah.
Good. You'll have to watch little Hendrick, man. He can get he's a fiery one, man. He's even thrown out a couple schools for fighting, and but little Hydrick, Hydrick's 14, man, but he beat that. I mean, he's like in 7th grade. He beat the heck out of a couple of seniors in high school that are bullying. Stabbed one in the eye with a crayon. I mean, just a vicious boy. Yeah, I mean, he don't take crap from no one. He has a little bit of his aunt's Irish side in him. So he was 8 years old in 8th grade, and he was sitting there in the art room, and a couple of it was a little junior senior high in a small town. They lived in there was a crayon sitting there, and they thought they'd get the best of them. And little Hydrick just stabbed the 17-year-old in the eye with the crayon. That was a heck of a lawsuit I had to fight, but you know how it goes with children. Well, I'll talk to you later. God bless. And my wife made a wonderful sauerbraten. All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Stab a kid in the eye with a crayon. Little Hydrick's a little feisty one. You need to watch for him. Yeah, that's what he said. You had to watch out for little Hydrick, man. He has some fire in him. He has a little bit of his hands, but he has a little bit of his hands Irish side in him. Little Hydrick. You hear those ladies' name? You gotta watch out for little Hydric, man. He's a little fiery little one. I said he had some of his Aunt Cyrus side in him. He's a little feisty, little Hydric. He's like they're 12 years old and a couple 18-year-olds gave me a rib and he stabbed him in the eye with a grand. That's quite the loss to fight. In the art rooms when kids thought they'd get the best of him. He stabbed one of them in the eye with a grand. I even mentioned a good German meal, sauerbraten and iced tea. That's like a German roast, man. I had one like in Christmas 1998, man. That was the best German dish I ever had with sauerbraten. It's like a German roast, it's like a roast, it's like a German roast. It's a real good roast. They only make it during the holidays. And it's like really making, like my wife's a good wife. She made a wonderful sauerbraten. We've been living in Argentina. My grandfather and my father when he was little had to flee the country for obvious reasons. My grandfather was a surgeon, was a research surgeon in Germany during the war. Of course, after the war, they had to flee to Argentina for obvious reasons. More like Dr. Mingle's grandson. Now I call this Dr. Mingle's grandson. I just said my name is Rochester Mingles. My grandfather had to flee the war. Flee after the war. Yeah, my doctor was my favorite. My father was the famous Dr. Mingles. The local mental health center called and said they had local drugs on the state. They would subway settle on my surgical research. I'm trying to make a master race of super soldiers out of the mentally ill. I thought you'd have let me use your surgical facilities. That's a German town. So I was like, yeah, see, I'm trying to take the mentally ill and make a master race of super soldiers out of them. I thought maybe you lend me your surgical facilities, make a master race of super soldiers out of the mentally ill. That's a war my grandfather's war going to continue from the Second World War in Germany. Taking the mentally ill, making a super master race of super soldiers out of the mentally ill. You have to watch out for little Hydric, though. He's a feisty one. He's got some of his mother's Irish. He's got some of his aunt's Irish side in him. I have 8 beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed children. Just when they want to hear that down. That's why I was well like that down, man. You ever trying to hook me up all kinds of women that down like blonde-haired, blue-eyed? They're like, great, wait, blonde-haired, blue-eyed children. More for us getting to Catholic Church and marry our daughters and sons do. She was interested once I said 8 blonde-haired, blue-eyed children because I came to town. I had blonde-haired, blue eyes, and the teachers were begging me to date girls, man. They were trying. My one teacher tried to hook me up with girls. Yeah, I was like 18. He was trying to hook me up with a 15-year-old. I was like, Mr. Sheldon, she's a little too young. But he's, look, her name, she's blonde-haired, blue-eyed German. So what? She'll be 16, then you can marry her in a couple of months. I said, you'll be gone by the time you graduate. She'll be 16. I know you'll get your signature to marry her. He didn't care. Autumn Schneider, man, that was a German name. I said, I'm 18. She's 15, Sheldon. That's a little too young. He said, by the time you graduate, she'll be 16. I'm sure I get her brother to sign over for marriage. That's what the old bastard said. I said, Sheldon, you know I'm 15. I'm 18. That's illegal. He said, no, you don't do nothing for marriage. And by the time you graduate, she'll be 16. She has no future. But she'll make beautiful kids. You just get her breeding. I'm sure I get the signature for you to marry her when she graduate. That's what literally that teacher was like. I'm having you to be as soon as you're 15. I'm like, no, that's too young. And I'm like, you know, by the time you graduate, she'll be 16. He's like, I'm sure you get the signature from the parents for you to marry her. That's how crazy those teachers were about getting us married, man. They're right in high school, man, marketing us together as married couples. They're hooking me up all these girls, trying to hook the boys and girls up and get married and stuff. They're trying to marry us all off. Yeah, man, you had German blood. There was competition. I had parents trying to get me a good job, offering me a good job to date and marry their daughter. I mean, if you had blonde hair, blue eyes, and almost full-blooded German in that town, there were parents, literally lock and key, strict Catholic parents that never let their daughters out of sight, begging you to date their daughters, take them to prom. And these are parents that kept their daughters literally in a girdle. And they said, I'll even take the kid. And her dad saw them at the Arby's. And he said, well, I see you have blonde hair, blue eyes. I tell you what, I'll give you the key to the girdle. And he laughed. Joe just jingled his keys. He said, here, I'll even let you have the key to the girdle. And he was just laughing. His dad, this old man was an old redhead Irishman. And he said, here, I'll even give you the key to her girdle if you take her to prom. He had her on a girdle. He said, I'll give you the key to the girdle. And she'll give me taking his car keys. He said, here, I'll give a girdle on her. We'll give you the key to the girdle if you take her to prom. Yeah. Yeah, why was your phone not picking up over there? If I give you that 20. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Well, I just heated up some pizza, rest of the pizza rolls. I was gonna have you make dinner, but you didn't pick up, so I made pizza rolls. And my back feels a lot better, and I got that Red Bull and from Amazon. No, you can throw it out tomorrow morning. All right, bye. Yeah. I mean, I mean, I was such a gentleman when I went to school there that, I mean, all my friends wanted me to dance with girlfriends. Like, they didn't want to dance. And my mom taught me how to dance the old-fashioned American country. And I was like, even the principal gave me a hard time for being too clean on my dancing. He said, dang, you Pentecostal. I was Pentecostal. You know, he said, we Catholic guys, we like to get feisty. And you Pentecostal dude, you're actually very clean. He said, you are the most honest gentleman-like dancer I ever had in my school, Mr. Sherry. He's like, you are like I'm normally watching the boys are grabbing the butts and thighs, and you're just a gentleman. Girls are always lining up to dance at wedding, at wedding receptions and everything. When I was like in my late teens, early 20s, man, girls were lining up to dance with me. Although I could have taken girls into the restroom at wedding receptions and not knowing if I was screwing a step cousin. I could have taken home chicks up, but 2 or 3 women have knocked up in the men's room by the end of the night on wedding reception. Spread those jeans around. I should have done that. Just took women after women to like on the dances and took all kinds of women into the men's room and just put a baby inside of them. That should have been my goal. And here in the United States, you call it Social Security. Family court can't touch your tithings. I was told that my daughter, if I had a kid, they get a separate check for $200 a piece. I was like, damn, I should put a bunch of babies inside of women. Then they get a check from Social Security for $200. No one face family court. That's why I always kept a rubber on my Johnson, man. I didn't want to end up in family court. So I just kept a rubber on my Johnson. Except for when I dated this Catholic chick. I think I knocked her up. I said her religion not to wear a rubber on my Johnson, a raincoat on my Johnson. But she was kind of thick and blonde. And boy, she felt so good inside. Oh, I was a good piece. She was such an obedient woman. Some of those, say what you will about Catholics, but gosh dang, those blonde-haired, blue-eyed Catholic women, I'd be on the phone. I was like, Amanda, come over here. I need you on your knees. Within 5 minutes, I'd be sitting there watching Bill O'Reilly, the old Irishman on Fox News, eating my dinner, getting head while watching the Fox News, man. I'm like, man, get your ass over here. I need you to do something. Within 5 minutes, she'd be at my place on her knees giving me head while watching the news. Every night I watch the news. Amanda, Bill O'Reilly's on. I'll eat my dinner. You know what to do. In 5 minutes, I'll be sitting there watching Bill O'Reilly, getting my knob sucked and eating my dinner. And my Catholic girlfriend will be sitting there sucking my dick while I eat dinner and watch Bill O'Reilly on Fox News. That was my weekly ritual. Everyone had to be out of the house because my girlfriend would come over and suck me off while I watched Bill O'Reilly. And by the end of the show, I'd blow my load. And, all right, man, you go home now. I finished up my dinner to sit there and have a beer and a cigarette while she did her job. We'll watch it go Bill O'Reilly on Fox News. I'll sit there and watch the news while I go through the news channels while I got my knobs up with my girlfriend. So I kind of took after Bill Clinton on that one. Just sitting there getting my knob polished while I watched the news at night. She knew it's just her duty once and once time these are on the news. She's over there around 5 or 6 p.m. to watch the news and have my dinner done. And sometimes she dealt with dinner, then I'd be down there. And, there'd be always, these younger people were out using computers. I'm like, well, my girlfriend's here. There's things people your age can't see going on now. Come back in 2 hours. I look after some of the neighborhood youth. They need a place to stay. So you go out and play now for 2 hours. Your adopted mother is here, and there's things that young people shouldn't see and go on around here. You even go play kickball for 2 hours, then you come back. I was in that 2 hours with my girlfriend. They all let the house know what was going to happen when my blonde-haired, blue-eyed girlfriend would show up. And I was like, okay, all you youngins can leave now. There's things going on you can't see at your age. It's mommy and daddy time. Let's go out and play kickball or something. Alexa, turn on 4.
Okay.
But he's like, yeah, Autumn will be 16, 17 by the time you graduate. Then I can have her brother sign the paperwork for you to marry her. That's what the show coach said. She'll be old enough to marry. Just get a letter from her. I'll make sure her brother signs the paperwork and you can marry her. As long as you have that name Schneider at the end of the girl's name, it don't matter to Gene's head out. She's dumb as a box of rocks. But she has fine childbearing hips, and you're bright as a whistle, Josh. So I guess if she likes to have children, I'd much rather have them with you than some dumb idiot, and you can just produce lots of children. And she's already had 2 miscarriages, so the 2 miscarriages are out. So she's going to be producing lots of kids. I bumped into her a couple years down the road. She had 4 kids already. Like, we were in her 20s, and she's in her early 20s, had 4 kids. I was like, damn, Shelton's right. That woman's a baby factory. No wonder he could smell a girl that was fertile, man. She was fertile as hell. Literally, I was like 24, and she was 22, and she already had like 4 kids. I'm like, damn, that German, that guy was like a German bloodhound for sniffing out fertile women, man. He sniffed her out, dude. She was fertile, man, and wanted me to put my brilliant German seed in her. Cause man, she's in her early 20s, already had 4 kids. So he's sniffing out all these fertile young ladies for me. Marry after high school. I was like, damn, he was good at sniffing out a fertile young lady. I mean, she was 15, already had 2 miscarriages when we knew her. I'm like, Sheldon, this don't look like a bad choice. 1, her age. Number 2, she's had 2 miscarriages. That either looks like a bad judge of character, and a bad case of judgment in her case, only being 15, had 2 miscarriages, or something wrong with the old baby making factory. He says, oh, she'll be fine. She was too young when she had the children. And he pulled me aside. He says, let me tell you a secret about Jasper. These men around here, once they're old enough to bleed, they're old enough to breed. I don't tell you when I said that. That's a town secret. And I was like, Jesus. He's like, our choice here in Jasper. If they're a straight couple, man, they're old enough to bleed, they're old enough to breed. And I'm like, Jesus. He says, don't tell anyone. That's a town secret. He was a corker, my coach was, a football coach was. He's like, let me tell you a secret about these girls around here. You marry them, they're old enough to bleed, they're old enough to breed. That's a whole town secret. That's why all the molestation cases you see are just a homosexual guy molesting a little boy. You never see it with a pregnant girl. Because they're holding up the bleeding this down, they're holding up the breed, he said. You only see it in the paper when it's a homo. He said when a homo's molesting a little boy, he said. If you see a guy being a girl pregnant, you'll never see charges passed in the paper. Because the guys aren't people around here to say, oh, they're both these German women. Oh, they're holding up the bleed, they're holding up the breed. Oh, like Jesus, he has it down secret. And that's right. The only time I saw something in the paper was some old man molesting a little boy. Nothing about a guy getting a girl pregnant, man. Nothing. I mean, they're like fucking like I'd see go to the hospital, right? Or with my doctor, and I'd say, hey, doctor, like go visit my friend who is at a doctor's office, and I'd be down there getting some blood work done. I'd go to his house, down to his work office, to get a ride home from his son Ross, who did paperwork and reception, and there'd be like 12, 13-year-old girls sitting in the waiting room, and I'm going, what's the story? He goes, you know the story of us guys of this town, you know the old secret, they're holding up the bleed, they're holding up the breed. I'm like, who's the father? Oh, some 30-year-old chap. I'm saying, ain't that molestation? He said, no, that's just when an old man molests a little boy. You know, we just want more babies in this town, so we kind of overlook it. Town secret, don't tell anyone. I'm like, Jesus. He said we only have a problem with the old man touching little boys. This little girl and this girl's and her pregnant. We just have more babies in this town. Big families, we love them. But then they have to marry. He said he's run a lot of them to Missouri and out of state to marry. He said I'd run one out to Idaho to get married. These two these two girls are gonna go to Missouri and get married next week. The two different husbands. The man's like in his late 20s, so they're going to Missouri to get married. So he arranged them to go to states to get married. Hell, some of the girls he had arranged to go to Mexico to get married. They're so young and pregnant. So he had to run to a state in Mexico where they get married at 12 because some dude would get them pregnant, and he'd get them way to Mexico, get married, and bring them back. That's how crazy it was. He made sure they didn't give us one of the. They promised one of the Mexicans a new house. They got them into Mexico, get them married, then bring them back. You know, to get them through the dangerous areas, just to get them married down in southern Mexico, where marriage laws are cheap or younger. And they bring them back with a marriage certificate. Then they were untouchable by the feds. So he had a group of Mexicans that spoke the language down there, and he'd bring these bought every like couple. The father being in his 20s, the girl be 12 or 13, right? 11, 12 years old, they take him down to Mexico, marry him, and bring him back to Jasper. Dude, they're crazy in that town. I tell you, I've never seen the creepiest shit, man. If there's any old man touching a boy, man, he was right in jail, man. That's how crazy that town was. Of course, you had your high-ranking German burbs. They're like, oh, that old man, he'll never learn. We throw him in jail 3 times, man. He has so many indecency charges. Just let him touch him. Those kids won't amount to nothing. They're drug addicts. Will die of an overdose anyway. We had some old fat German perverts in town, and they were always touching them, and they're like, oh, those lads are drug addicts anyway. The police say, they'll never amount to anything. They'll be dead of an overdose in a few years. Let that fat German pervert touch him. He looks like Uwe Bell. I tell I'm friends with the police chief. He's a fat guy back in the early 2000s, and there was this fat guy named Uwe Bull. They look like Uwe Bull touching a bunch of boys in middle school, grade school. He's like, oh, those boys are just drug addicts. Oh, they'll be dead of an overdose by the time they're 17. Let the fat ass have them. They'll be dead of a drug overdose anyway. I know the family, all drug addicts. They'll be in prison or dead of a drug overdose. Let that fat fuck have them. It's cool. The police chief I knew as growing up in high school, early adult, he's sitting Hardee's all the time, eating burgers and drinking Cokes, and he's a big 400-pound police chief. And I'm like, yeah, I heard there's this fat ass looks like Uwe Boll touching neighborhood boys. He goes, what's the boys' names? Let me run them in. Oh yeah, the whole family's a bunch of drug addicts. I don't know. He said they're a bunch of drug addicts supposed to be dead or in prison by the time they're 17 anyway. Let that fat fucking pervert have them. They knew that people would be in prison by or dead by 17 drugs. Fucking police didn't care. He said that thins out the herd. They're gonna be part of the herd that's thinned out anyway. Did a dog overdose in prison. So let the fat German perverts have them. So there's a bunch of fat guys with like Uwe Boll and down I knew that they were known to like the boys. All they're told to stick to the drug guy. The teenagers are addicted to drugs and be dead in prison. They didn't die. They didn't say anything. The only time they got in trouble was when they were messing with kids that were gonna be something. They stuck to the fucking family. The kids came from family full of prison and inmates and drug addicts. They didn't give a shit. So we had a lot of fat ass Germans making weird videos in their basement. And half these guys look like a mix of Uwe Boll or something. They look like a fat pervert like Uwe Boll, man. There are a lot of fat German guys like Uwe Boll in that town. And you know they're up to no good. When they said they had pot, they line up and you know what's going on. When they said, I got that fat guy named Arnold has some pot. He's cool. You know what was going on in the house. That fat retarded German guy has some pot. He's cool. You know what's going on in that house. They're like, I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing. There's some fat retarded guy named Uwe. He moved to town. He has some killer weed and pills. We go there. We goes out. He does funny things. We get high. I didn't hear nothing, son. We know the kid being in prison or dead by the time he's 20 anyway. That was like in that town. Well, I was like, Uwe, just don't touch any kids in the future. You'll end up in prison. You'll end up on that registry. Make sure you have the community to touch the delinquents. You'll be fine. I was like, okay! Remember when we said the delinquents? Or the kids will be dead by 20? Okay! Shit. So if your nickname was Mook in that town, they knew to send everyone with nickname Mook, man, they knew to send the delinquents to that guy. So everyone, if they had Mook next to his name on a list, that means send all the delinquents there. So every delinquent, they needed somebody to go after school. They had all the possible mentors and all the delinquents and young drug addicts. They had Mook beside the names of the ideal child mentors for the juvenile delinquents and the boys to be dead by 20. And Mook was put beside the names of their child mentors for just look up what Mook means, M-O-O-K. And you know what I mean, why they always got assigned to old Mooks. There you go, Mook beside his name. Big Brother Big Sisters, they kept at least 20 guys with Mook beside his name. Oh, you get this guy, Larry Stroud, but we just call him Mook. Yeah, go ahead. Your son just got out of juvie, do fine with him. We just call him Mook for short, but his name's Larry. Larry Strauss, and well, that was one of the Mooks, and he's with the Mook division. He'll do fine. That's an old German name for Chester. That's an old German name for the Chester family. It's a Mook. It's an old German saying for a Chester, Mook. Yeah, back in the old German families, all of us who had a Chester in the family, he was nicknamed Mook. That's how we all isolated the uncle we kept the kids away from, was by nicknaming all those uncles Mook. Oh, that's Uncle Mook, man. Keep the daughter away from him. Uncle Mook. We knew to keep the daughter. You had kids, you kept your kids away from old Uncle Mook. That was a word for the creepy uncle in the family. He just didn't want to say just that Mook. Oh boy. That's enough. I'm getting too excited there. I'm just getting too worked up. You still there, free thinker? Oh God. There's a lot of stories I got of this town, the old towns I lived in. But one, he just avoided Mook at all costs. Yeah, in our German families, man, families with German bloodline, if they call your uncle Mook, well, the other uncle they call Mook, you just stay away from him as a kid. If you think so, that's Uncle Charlie, but just call him Mook. That was a signal for the kids to stay away from him. That's just call that's just another Mook. Oh, okay, I'll keep me and my girlfriend will stay away from him. But they had use for old Mook. He would mentor the boys that'd be dead by 20 or in prison. That's where Mook got assigned. Big Bird League Sisters. Mentoring, getting the boys ready for prison. If you know what I mean. Doling them up and stuff, getting them ready for prison. Oh, Mook, we got another one for you. He's headed for prison. He did 3 cents a jibby. You need to get ready for prison. Mook's like, yeah, this guy Mook, he's real cool. He's got all kinds of pot and bills. And Mook's like, yeah, come on in. Yeah, Mook's a real nice guy. He'll get you ready for your future. For your future, meaning future in prison. Hey, come on in. I got candy bars, pills, and weed. Yeah. You'll learn how to work for that. You'll work for that, honey pie boy. You'll learn how to work for that sweet cake, for that honey pie and Snickers bar. That's just getting them to reach the social degenerates ready for prison. People who were going to prison. So by the time they were 15, 14, 15, and they spent about 2 or 3 stints already in juvie, there's guys that work for Big Birds, Big Sisters, nicknamed the Mook Division, getting the boys ready for prison. You know, the whole scrawny ones that were just a little drink of water wouldn't survive in prison. Unless they're probably trained by Mook. And Mook was the big fat retarded guy in town. That's how you do it. It's kind of sickening, but I guess it's true because that's the only way a little skinny drink of water is going to survive in prison. At least American prisons. Oh, enough dark humor for today. You know, free tanker, I gotta have my dark humor sometimes. You know what I mean? It's really good to get a dark humor, especially when you have an old Mook in town. You have a German town, and you have guys named Mook that you have a certain use for. Even old Mook has his use in small towns. Once you don't touch into the kids, once you don't work with the kids that are excelling in life, all Mooks read about free range amongst the juvenile delinquents and other trash needs to be taken out. That'd be dead or in prison by 20. Mm-hmm. That's where Mook comes in, retarded boy named Mook. The big fat retarded guy, deformed guy named Mook with a crooked lazy eye. The guy with a lazy eye named Mook. You know, he worked with the delinquents. That's all we know. The delinquents that are prison bound will be dead by 20. Went to old Mook for training. Getting ready for their future life in prison. Mook was a big fat blonde-headed retard with a lazy eye. He always had the pills and weed. Remember, Mook, he's a straight student. He can't come in. Oh, Dad! Billy, you can't come in. Johnny? Johnny's okay. He just got out of juvie for the third time. Johnny, come in. I got a pack of cowboy killers and some wonderful grass. Billy, you have to go over to Aunt Sally's house. You're not allowed within. I'm not allowed within 500 yards of the school. You know what I mean? But Billy, you come on in. But Timmy, I'm not within allowed 500 feet of you. Oh my God, first down 6 votes. Oh God. First dump. First dump. Bro, you want to watch me chugging a Red Bull? All right, I'll make a video of it. Do a double and chug a Red Bull. my stuff. Watch this. Do everything wrong with a Red Bull and do a double. Alexa, turn on 4.
Sorry, I didn't find a group or device named Go.
Alexa, turn on 4.
Okay.
I trust the foreign press more than I trust our
Well,
press.
isn't it stunning that there's a picture of, the claim has been for a long time that the Epstein-Clinton relationship only really began after Clinton left office, and then you have a picture contradicting that, and it doesn't get any coverage.
So how does
There's something else there, obviously.
I was shocked to learn from you that Ron Brown, I remember he was a guy who was on a plane going someplace.
Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia. And it crashed, and everybody's like, it's another Clinton murder. And I've never really bought into you wouldn't have to push me far, but I'm a fact guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Show
yeah.
me the facts.
Well, it's a lot to unravel to understand the Ron Brown situation because it's tied up with what I mentioned earlier, Chinagate, which was very difficult even for Congress to investigate. The man at the center of it, who was also the man that Jeffrey Epstein met with repeatedly at the White House, named Mark Middleton, he pleaded the fifth 28 times, including to the question was he a foreign agent? And pretty much every key figure they tried to subpoena also pleaded the fifth. And there was just, it was very difficult to investigate. And even the George W. Bush administration.
I'm going to write Tommy at it.
Privilege of Bush as president was, among other things, to block documents about Mark Middleton being made available to Congress. And then 9/11 happens and everyone forgets. It's very amazing because Mark Middleton was not a high-ranking guy. He was an aide to Mac McClarty, who was chief of staff and then a senior advisor to Bill Clinton. So why are you having
I'll put Tommy Hatchet time.
for Mark Middleton? There's obviously a lot going on there because at the same time that Mark Middleton is involved.
I'll put Tommy Hatchet time. I'll put that also on assembly. Tommy Hatchet time.
From instead of going from
I just listen to all these videos about the Clintons and the schmoes on the testers on Epstein Island. I put Tommy Hatchet time. I just go to watch a few minutes of them go, nothing old Tommy Hatchet can't cure. Oh, Tommy can. They don't. If the kids were that much trash, just send them to Mook. Please don't send them to Epstein Island. They don't come back. If they come back reformed or ready for prison with Mook, Epstein Island, the poor kid's dead. Jesus, with Mook, they're too scared to go to prison at least. They know there'll be plenty of Mooks in the prison. That's a Mook there is. He's either way getting ready for the future or scare them out of their future prison. That's what had the retarded guy with the lazy eye. Because that's to scare them away from prison or to get them away ready for prison. But please, not the innocent kids. That's the reformed kids showing what prison's going to be like. That's why you send them their mentor Mook. But not the innocent ones. Please, Epstein. So many bad. Oh, I can't stand that. You gotta have dark humor this shit from going crazy and just wanting to shoot someone. You know what I mean? You just gotta have a dark sense of humor to keep from just wanting to chop somebody up. You know, it's going down that registry with a fucking set of knives on you and fucking wanting to hack people up. You gotta have a dark sense of humor. You don't have any free thinker. Instead of just pulling up, printing off the registry on your fucking computer and going up and down the list with a fucking hatchet and machete. You just gotta have a dark sense of humor to keep from having a murder rap. That's why I I have a dark sense of humor. I'm thinking I'm getting on the computer, looking up the registry with a fucking Tommy hatchet, man. Printing it off, I'm going paying a few guys a visit. All right. Damage pig. Ooh, Red Bull. Crunch. How is that?
Okay, then. You're an old school domestic terrorist. What I find craziest about this video is not that you believe this made up story that we're now flying the Ukrainian flag of the U.S. Capitol. It's that you were actually self-aware enough to know that the biggest threat to the United States is homegrown domestic white terrorism. The first step to recovery, after all, is admitting that there's a problem. And by the way, that's a well-groomed patch of hairs. Okay, bet. You're an old school domestic terrorist. What I find craziest about this video is not that you believe this made up story that we're now flying the Ukrainian flag of the U.S. Capitol. It's that you were actually self-aware enough to know that the biggest threat to the United States is homegrown domestic white terrorism. The first step to recovery, after all, is admitting that there's a problem. And by the way, that's a well-groomed patch of hairs. Okay, bet. You're an old school domestic terrorist. Have you ever killed anyone? An extraordinary experience watching the life fade through someone's eyes.
Look like St. Johnson.
His instinct was to kill me. And this preamble is taking us where? Jason Kramer, you successfully got him a new trial. Yes. I know you've been under a lot of pressure from the other hospitals not to get involved with the case. Yes. I think you should listen to them.
just because. Last night I had a premonition. Kramer will go free. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to explain it to you. Jason Kramer is guilty of murdering his lover. I have seen the trial transcripts and all the evidence. He will be convicted again. Then why did you fight to get him a new job? The jury voted against Kramer because he was gay. So this whole thing is theoretical for you? There is nothing theoretical about justice. And if Kramer goes free? That's not going to happen. You better pray you're right. If you haven't seen this, this is seriously highly disturbing for me anyway. So what you're seeing here is a boy that has died after receiving the juice. And this is what they're seeing in the eye of this boy after he's died. What the heck? That is nuts. That is just freaking nuts.
Hey everyone, it's January 3rd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share it with serial killer Philip Carl Jablonski, one of California's worst serial killers who murdered 5 women in the 70s and 90s, and that is him right up there. Jablonski was born in Joshua Tree, California in 1946 and was raised by an alcoholic father who physically and sexually abused him, his siblings, and his mother. He enlisted in the Army in 1966 and served in Vietnam. When his tour ended and he returned to the U.S. in 1968, he married his high school sweetheart while the pair lived in Texas. At this point, he began to indulge his violent impulses, often strangling his wife to the point of unconsciousness during sex. His wife left him that same year, and he quickly became involved with another woman who he sexually assaulted on their first date. She became pregnant, and the two of them moved to California in 1969 after his military service was over. She finally left him in 1972, after which Jablonski used a knife to sexually assault an acquaintance in his home. That victim fled his house and was able to alert the police, after which he was tried and convicted of rape. I'm unsure exactly how much time he served, but he was back out in 1977 when he had a baby with another woman. In July of 1978, he killed her mother after the two had a fight. He was convicted of murder and served 12 years behind bars before being released in 1990, despite trying to strangle his own mother when she came to visit in 1985.
Oh my God.
In prison, he married a woman who he met via classified ad in 1982. And you think there's no one for you on Hinge. Before he was released, his wife became concerned about him in the real world and refused to allow him to live with her, causing him to settle in Southern California instead. She spoke to his parole officer, who forbade him from visiting his wife. But in 1991, he illegally purchased a gun from a friend and headed north to the Sacramento area where she lived with her mother. This ended with her being sexually assaulted, shot, suffocated, and stabbed, and her mother being shot in the head. He then returned to Southern California and killed a woman he had met while attending community college as part of the terms of his parole, and her mutilated body was found in the desert with the words, "I love Jesus," carved into her. 2 weeks later, he robbed and murdered a woman in Utah before being apprehended a few days later in Kansas. He was convicted of multiple murders and sent to death row for the 4 murders he committed after being released. While incarcerated, he created a website seeking pen pals on which he described himself as a death row teddy bear. He sent many letters and handmade greeting cards to the people on the outside, including a writer at Vice who claimed to have written to more than 50 serial killers. Also, while researching this case, I came across an ad offering to sell an autographed dick tracing he made in prison with some of his shaved pubic hair for $80. Get your Valentine a special gift. Google it so your search history can be as terrible as mine. Jablonski died of unknown causes in his cell at San Quentin in 2019. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment.
Boys and I need the boys.
NYPD. This you?
Prom boys don't have to pay for the fare. Prom boys don't have to pay for the fare. You don't have to pay for the fare. Wow. Prom boys don't have to pay for the fare. That is insane. Prom boys don't have to pay for the fare. Oh, I have to pay for the fare, but they don't? Is that the situation you're saying?
That's correct. I have to pay for the fare, but they don't. That is the situation you were saying. And that officer responds, correct. That's how you get down to NYPD? I mean, in Canada, they're listed as one of the entities under Canada's Anti-Terrorism Act. New Zealand just designated them a terrorist organization. But in America, apparently, police
Alexa, turn off 4.
Okay.
Wow. That damn Vatican. Doping me up proper all the time. They sure did dope up Benedict nice and proper. Oh, poor Benedict. He didn't stand a chance they get in that final pill. Man, did he, free thinker? He didn't stand a chance after his final dose of medication. They gave him medication that night. I'm warning, he was dead. He must have been getting ready to say something he didn't want him to say in a book. He must have been saying too much or mumbling too much in his sleep. They didn't want someone finding out. After he received his nightly medication, they said his head up daily. He's already is cold. His body was already long cold. When the Pope said he's silently supporting the church, I knew the bastard was already dead. I knew the bastard had already been done away with. They thought he knew too much. And they said he's silent and praying for helping the church. I knew the bastard was already dead on a morgue slab. He knew too much and they gave him the IV shot and he was dead. They had to hold him down, man. He got out of a wheelchair, was running across the room in his hospital robe, screaming, yelling. About 5 or 6 Let's Go orderlies came up. They booked again and given that shot in the booty, man. And he was dead on a slab within 5 minutes. That old man ran for his life. They didn't want to make out St. Peter's Square. Old Benedict promised him of his drink, man, to make a run for it at the hospital account and have 5 orderlies chase everything on with a syringe. 95-year-old ex-pope running through St. Peter's Square buck naked with five Swiss car orderlies chasing them with a syringe would not look good for the Catholic Church. So they had to kill him in his room. He didn't make one last run for it. I knew he made a last run for it when Pope Francis said he silently helping the church. I knew the bastard's already dead. He made a run for it. He knew once he's out St. Peter's Square, it'd be over with. It'd be out of the closet there trying to kill him. He'd be butt naked running to St. Peter's Square with 5 Let's Go orderlies chasing him with a syringe, man. That would have been funny. Him running butt naked to St. Peter's Square with 5 orderlies chasing him with a syringe. Him drive back, kill me! Now all of a sudden they come out both Benedict's dead. But that did happen, but they seized everyone's camera. Pope Benedict running through St. Peter's Square buck naked with 5 orderlies chasing him. But they confiscated everyone's phone and seized all the video. That bastard made a run for it. Almost made it out of the game. They tackled him, gave him the lethal booty juice and confiscated all the phones and video. That bastard knew once he's out of the gate, he was on. He was buck naked making a run for it. He was having lots of strength to make a run for it. He just didn't quite make it. Maybe he did run for it. That's why they're doing his funeral. They're still looking for him. He made a run for it, and the bastard was probably found some clothes on a private island somewhere. Because that bastard made a run for it. No, that German man, he put some dumbass priest that looks like him in his area. You know, one of those priests that was like touching the kiddos? He put some bad old elderly priest in his place. The real Benedict sipping a margarita on the beach. In 95, he pulled a quick one on him. He replaced some of the dead priests that looked like him. And he took off and ran off into the sunshine. There was some sicko German priest that looked like him that he lured in the room and knocked on and gave him juice to. And he went off on a plane. He's off on the coast drinking a margarita. That's what I hope Benedict is. He put some pervert priest in his place dead. as a doornail, and he went off and he's in the sun. He's on some sunny island making a margarita and say, I got those bastards good. He said, come back and get those bastards good. He's 100 now. He's going to come back and get those bastards go good. He's going to look like in his place. He faked his death and made a run off to the French Riviera or something, having a margarita on a private beach. Or sitting in an old home with his cats. I love the story how he's sitting by the piano with his cats. He's sitting in some old shack like me under an alias with a bunch of cats now. An old cat guy. That's a whole bit. That's a bit. That's a Ratzinger is at. He's a 95-year-old cat man. It smells like cat piss and vodka, man. Cat piss and vodka. He already has that cat piss smell to him to blend in with the crazy old men of the area. No one knows he's the actual ex-pope. He's what it looked like in his legs ran off. Anyway, he's a crazy old man living down on Market Street. Sound like cat piss and vodka, blabbing away in German. He yells at the paper boy when he puts he throws his paper in the yard and stuff on the front board. He yells all kinds of curse words in German at him. And he's straight up in the middle of dead-ass Midwest America. And you have this crazy old 95-year-old man yelling at the paper boy all kinds of obscenities and curses and mixing German and Latin. Who is this crazy old bastard? This is like cat piss and vodka. I don't know. He's loaded, dude. We don't throw that paper on. That crazy old bastard comes out screaming at us in German or Latin. This is a crazy old cat guy that speaks only German and Latin. He moved in last week. The place is already arrived. Smells like cat piss and vodka. Hasn't bathed in a week. He has a beard growing. 95 years old, show up out of nowhere. Why does this seem work? Alexa, turn on 4.
Okay.
I wonder where my meds are. They're gonna knock me down a few notches. Those bastards. Where's my pills? My pills. Ah. Can't get any pills around here. Yeah, Ratzinger's off in the sunset in the Midwest somewhere. Yelling at the paperboy in Latin if you don't get his Sunday newspaper just right on his doorstep. He yells obscenities in German. English. He is in it a nice ingredient in English. The boy's good. It puts it in his paper. Otherwise, it's obscenities in German or Latin. And Chase halfway down the block with a old man waving his cane. Sound like vodka and piss. Oh, that shit, he saw Linus in the bag and drove the old man crazy. He's too crazy to kill. He was crazy enough to switch out the body that old Brazen looked like him. He's off in the Midwest somewhere. 95 years old household cats and just sitting there talking to himself all day. That old bastard's too good to kill, man. He didn't kill him. I'll tell the guy the truth, you didn't kill Ratzinger. He's somewhere in the middle of Midwestern America. He's too smart to die. He's not dead. He put some pervert priest in his place. He made people look like pervert priests that's being dumped in the tomb. He wants nothing more of the Catholic Church. He's an atheist now. He said God can't exist, let these horrible things go on. I've seen enough in the Vatican. Our guys know this story's bullshit. Yeah, the Ratzinger said this is bullshit to die for. I saw enough down those archives know this is bullshit. And this shit drove me nuts. They put look like priests in his bed, killed him, and fucking took off. Ratzinger's too smart to kill, man. They knew they had to kill Ratzinger. He knew too much. But Ratzinger outwitted him and put a look like in his place. An old bastard from Germany invited over and looked like one of his stand-ins. He found out that old bastard been up to the naughty, so he fucking shot that fucker up with arsenic, put him in his bed, and fucking left. He fucking put arsenic in the guy's pudding. The guy wanted chocolate pudding, and fucking Ratzinger put his lookalike put fucking arsenic and ricin or arsenic. He put arsenic in the guy's pudding. The guy was dead, and fucking he put the guy in his bed and took off. Guys, that's Ratzinger for you. He's somewhere in the Midwest, a crazy old cat man. That bastard knew too much. He saw the Vatican archives. It said one time Clint invited Clint Eastwood to the Vatican, right? Because old Ratzinger fucking loved Clint Eastwood movies, man. He loved Dirty Harry and all that shit, right? And he said Clint Eastwood said he saw several things that are classified the Vatican. And finally, the last thing Ratzinger showed him was so fucked up and scary that even Clint Eastwood shit his pants. So you know Ratzinger knew some serious shit. If he could show him something that would make fucking Clint Eastwood shit his pants. Clint Eastwood literally messed his drawers when Ratzinger showed him something that's on display at the Vatican. Even Clint Eastwood shit his pants, dropped in his drawers. So that guy knew some serious shit was going on. When the world ain't to the scenes when he made Clint Eastwood drop his stool in his drawers. He said he literally drops the stool in his drawers when Ratzinger showed Clint Eastwood what was going on with those displays, man. He loved Dirty Harry and all that. He said they're watching old Dirty Harry VHS tapes surrounded by 20 cats with a bottle of vodka back at chain smoking camel filter somewhere. He's somewhere. Chain smoking cigarettes smell like cat piss and vodka. You can't kill Ratzinger. I don't believe Ratzinger's dead. Actually, I feel more spiritual if he is dead. I actually believe in an afterlife because I actually had some dreams like, hey, Josh, you get your head up out of your ass. I believe Ratzinger's actually one of the good guys. He's been visiting me in my sleep, telling me I'm better than what I've been doing. I've been feeling better. I mean, he's been visiting me in my sleep. I think he is dead. I'll be serious because, I mean, I had all these dreams where I'm just feeling better after Ratzinger. I think he's visiting me, knowing the church neglected me, that I wanted to live a better moral life, a better life, and he sees it. He's paying attention to me. I'm a fellow German. He's going to pay attention to me. I'm German Scott Irish. He's going to pay attention to me, and Ratzinger's taking good care of me. I called it back and enunciate. They just said, okay, I'll tell Pope Francis. So now Pope Francis has got a little fly. It's really a little computer flying around, listening to me. One of the flies on the wall is really one of Pope Francis's drones. So any fly on the wall could be one of Pope Francis's drones listening to me. He's already got a fly in my house listening to me. It's really a drone. So when I start seeing flies, I know one of them's Pope Francis's drone, or all of them are. Dead. Oh, shoot. Alexa, turn on 4.
Okay.
Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 46 degrees.
Alexa, what's tomorrow's weather?
Tomorrow, there will be lots of clouds, with a high of 53 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 35 degrees.
I take that med, knock me down a few RPMs, man. Boy, that medicine's my saving grace. I'd be in a lunatic asylum without it. They would shot me, shit me off, went into place. It's highly secure without it, man. I already would have scalped 50 men with my Tommy hatchet. Learn from the natives and scalped some old bastards. Damage Pig. Are you the one that messaged me on that left a comment on TikTok about playing Warzone? I had to remove it from my computer, but I bought some new games. All I had was the free version of Warzone. I bought a bunch of new games in the winter sale. Almost 50, so 100 by 50 bucks. Oh, okay. I bought like almost $80, $90 worth, like $80, $90 worth of free the games on sale. I bought a bunch of games on sale. They're on sale and on sale products on the Steam winter sale. So that's what I've been doing. I bought a bunch of Steam games on winter sale. That's fun. I bought a bunch of Steam games. I bought a shark card for GTA Online, bought gold for Red Dead Redemption. I bought a bunch of games. I bought Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, a bunch of good games are on sale. I took advantage of that sale, man. And I'll get my gaming area all set up, and we're going for the Fortnite World Championship. I'll go for the Fortnite World Championship, man. You know what I mean? And we're going to get those chipmunkets and bunny rabbits. They all know where to hide. No, I'm done with them. Yeah, I play Fortnite. Mom's kind of took my medicine. I kind of look like that bald guy with the long hair on fucking, what's that game? Little Britain, the movie Little Britain, the TV show Little Britain. I used to watch it here in the States, clips on YouTube. I went from being the only gay in the village in my 20s to being that bald guy with the long hair in the wheelchair. I'm wheelchair bound. Either call me Lester Kress or the name of that guy, bald guy on, like a bald guy with long hair in a wheelchair on Little Britain. That's how I made I'm now free thinker on Little Britain, the bald guy with long hair, the balding guy with long hair in a wheelchair with thick glasses. I like him, ain't I? I'm a spitting image of him. The balding guy, the guy with the bald spot and the long hair and the thick glasses in the wheelchair. I should go out dressed like him and get bifocals like him and tie my hair like that, go out looking like him. That should be my new look. And make little noises. By the rights. I don't think anyone in a small town U.S. would get the blot line. But if it's in England, everyone would be laughing. They see me being wheeled down the street of London in my wheelchair with the bifocals on and the long hair. Boy, they'd all be one hell of a picture in himself. It was me. Problem is, it's actually an Irishman in disguise. And he'd be stealing the money out of the women's pockets. I'd be snatching the money out of the pockets and I'd get the autograph. I'd be snatching the sterling out of the women's pockets. And maybe a little bottle of liquor. And I'd be sitting up at the TV little leprechaun. The girls come up and the rich British girls come up for a selfie. And I'd be snatching their handbag and stepping it down my wheelchair, man. And I'd have a bunch of fucking money on me and go back and fund the IRA with it. So I go disguise this British guy from Little Britain, while at the same time stuffing money out of women's purses and snatching the girls' $1,000 handbags. And we snatch all the handbags and come back and fund the IRA like that. They don't know it's actually an Irishman. That's actually posing to the selfies. and taking the shit like out of the handbags and shit, and snatching the women's gold and diamond jewelry, and snatching the wrist, the bracelets and the Rolexes, and just stuffing a little bag on my wheelchair and flying to Northern Ireland and let the guy IRA hawk them for extra money for funding. That's to go ahead and pickpocket people in England, go looking like him, and then just be pickpocketing people as they both are selling Rolexes, jewelry, gold, diamonds, and this whole big bag of booty on the floor. My Ride C company always on my weekly trip to London to get selfies and all the stuff I snatch from purses and all people, Rolexes and shit. I'd pour the booty of my top of my dues to the IRA 6 company, man. I just be pouring my big bag of booty. All right, you take your cut, this company. I got those British bastards. I went in full disguise. I didn't say a word. They didn't know I was an Irishman. And I pulled my big thing of braided jewelry and cash I stole for all the people getting selfies. This shit I snatched from and stuffed it in my little leprechaun bag. I've been pickpocketing the hell out of those British people. I have a big bag full of booty bring back into Northern Ireland. I have a big bag of shit. I have stuff I snatched when I did selfies. And I said, okay, all right, take my share of my bounty and my dues, and pour a bunch of Rolexes and diamonds and gold bracelets on the table and cash and all that. Oh, credit cards traceable, burn them. This is traceable, burn it. Checkbook, can't use that. The cash, gold, diamonds, silver, you can use that. Cigarettes for me. I want me tobacco. Go out and buy me a carton of Rothman, 3 cartons of Rothman, and a bottle and some food and some tea and some coffee and a couple of bottles of Jameson. I'll be happy. Just give me my place to stay. 3 bottles of Jameson, enough cartons of Rothman, my tea and my everything, and I'll be happy. You take the rest of it, IRA. I'm a simple man. All I need is my booze, my coffee, my food, and a simple place to stay, and a bed to sleep in, and my wheelchair. So I go back to London and do my pickpocketing while this guy's a dumbass British guy, but dumbass British show. Then all of a sudden the actor's picked up for shot boot for fucking pickpocketing. Poor bastard, he gets set up for my crimes. The actor's wondering why he's went in the British jail. When it's a lucky old Irish lookalike doing all of it. The Irish got him good. Poor British bastard. He's sitting in Broadmoor all juiced up, wondering what's going on. And I'm the Irish bastard that was lookalike snatching purses and grabbing women on the butt and stuff. So right before my last run, I'd grab an old lady by the ass and go, I'm going to eat your soul! And when the airport, he is put in Broadmoor. Real actor gets put in Broadmoor. Oh. Oh God! German women in sneaker sniffing. German women sniffing feet sneakers. German mistress and German woman. What bastard, old bastard posted this through some German woman sniffing feet and sneakers. Hell bastard. Those Germans, I tell you what. Oh shit. I'll send it to you, man. Here's what the Germans are up to these days. I'll see if I can forward it. Or Comic message link. No. Oh, I gotta go on my phone. That's what the Germans are up to these days. The Germans. Here's what the Germans are up to these days. I guess this is the German habit. I guess this is something funny. Germans are always up to strange things. I tell you what. The Germans are always up to weird things. Here's what the Germans are up to this week. Here's what the Germans are up to this week. Here's what the Germans are up to this week. That's what the Germans are up to this week. That's what the Germans are up to this week. Those crazy Germans. Those Germans are freaks, man. I love them. They're freaks. That's little women, man. You mix a German, man. We mix a German with Irish, man. He gets some freaks. German, Scott, Irish are freaks, man. You all mix of freaks in there. That's if you get that German, you get freak. Get the Germans. That's what the Germans are. That's what the Germans are up to this week. Typical day in Germany. He's dressed nice to die. Suit and tie. Oh, it's a homeless dude. Of course. Thanks, sir. Let me die. I'll die soon. Thanks, sir. He even thanked the cop. He thought he thanked him. He even thanked the even think cops are the bullies. true. I'm here again. Irish wife must have taken him to the cleaners in court for and alimony. Why must I take him to the cleaners? Oh God.
I have a confession to make. If I read a message like that, I'm sorry that I'm tearing up with a baby.
Oh. Ogre makes Dr. Sorgan.
Not your girlfriend. This woman does not have sex with other men while her boyfriend watches. This woman is not your girlfriend. This woman does not have sex with other men while her boyfriend watches. This is an attractive man. This man is not hideously ugly. This is an attractive man. This man is not hideously ugly. Might be sick. Get somebody to be sick. Nothing happened on June 4th, 1989. This man was just going for a walk near the tank factory. Nothing happened on June 4th, 1989. This man was just going for a walk near the tank factory. This never happened. 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 I'm like that, son. I see now what I've never seen before. I'm cured. Praise God.
That's if I do me in Britain. I'd be so violent they'd have to pull the old Clockwork Orange treatment on me. I'd be such an American. I'd be such a violent man in Britain. They'd have to pull out the old Clockwork Orange treatment on me. I'd be so feared even Broadmoor couldn't hold me. You know, Britain could hold me or Broadmoor. They'd have to give me the old field treatment they gave Alex in Clockwork Orange. That bastard was violent, man. They had to give me the old treatment. That's the only way they can dim him down. Alex is a proud man. He grew to be a fine boy, but he wasn't cured at all. Oh boy. Alexa, Tron 4.
Okay.
I gotta take a leak. Alexa, turn off 4.
Okay.
Watch this. It's gonna be funny. Watch this. It's gonna be funny. Car dealership, Jasper, Indiana.
Here are the listings for car dealership near Jasper.
Yeah, my name's Franklin Von Bruin, and I was wondering if you would reupholster the seats of my Dodge Hellcat. Now, I got the leather here. My grandfather got it during the war. I really don't know exactly where it came from, but I really can't say. But would you use it?
No, we don't do upholstery here.
Oh, darn, because it says Long Pig with Star of David next to the packaging. Oh, it's my grandfather's during the war. So he was a wild one. Yeah, he made a waffle. Do you want to hear the story how he made the Waffen SS?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to hear the story how my grandfather made the Waffen SS?
Well, I'm kind of with somebody right now, but
Well, okay, I'll let you go. Wife is calling me for dinner.
yeah, I better not. I better get back to work.
All right, bye. My grandfather was going to take your hand. It's just got puzzled. Want to hear how my granddad made Waffen SS? I got some leather. It says Long Pig on the packaging with Star David next to it. I can't go into detail about how my grandmother got it, but he was there with a tinker. You know what I mean? Oh, I get on there time to time. I'll be really good at poetry. I read a lot of politically incorrect on 4chan, man. That's funny shit, man. I'm politically incorrect on 4chan. I can't discuss my true political nature online. How I feel sometimes when I look out today's world. I'm just safe and just staying at home, and I mean a happy little liberal and stay safe. I believe if I spent one day in the inner city, I'd be a raving lunatic and black-pilled. So I just stay inside to stay kind of mild. Because I just been, after spending a week in this big city, I'm black-pilled. And let's say my politics lean to be more politically incorrect than spending a day in the inner city. So I just keep myself on the right side of the law when it comes to politics. Just send me to the big city for one day, and I'll be black-pilled. Give me blue-pilled. You got to keep me in the Matrix. Otherwise, I escape the Matrix while I'm public. I come home pissed off and black-pilled. Happens every time. I go out and I come home pissed off and black-pilled and out of the Matrix, wondering what the fuck's going on in the world. I go and spout the bullshit and politically incorrect about the atrocities I see in today's world. Whenever I leave the house, I'm an old cripple. I'm wheelchair bound, so I don't leave the house that much, which is pretty good because I see something, I say something. I have no filters in public. So Dad can't take me to certain places with certain people. Because, I mean, when he wheels my wheelchair in and I see something I don't like, I have no fucking zero filter, man. I'll say it. I'm like a living, speaking, politically incorrect section. On 4chan, I see something, I don't like it, man. I'll say it in public, so I tend not to go out in public too often. It's best to keep me indoors. Happy and blue-pilled like Uncle Sam wants me to be. If I go outdoors, I'm black-pilled and spewing obscenities like it's in the I speak black-pilled words like in the politically incorrect section. Because if I see something in public, I say something. No filter, fucking filter at all. So my family don't invite me to family dinners anymore or nothing. Once I get on that fucking Jack Daniels on the rocks, man, I speak true facts, man. That's why they got to keep the bourbon away from me, man. They got to take away my glasses and water the bourbon down and put it on thick ice. Because they know once I get that bourbon down, or that Jack Daniels down, I'm speaking facts. So they keep the liquor away from me. After the wedding reception 2004, my mom, the guy she married that died in 2016, the family knew to keep the liquor away from me at family gatherings, man. Because I touched that liquor. I was trying to get in women's panties. I was trying to get a woman. I met a chick at the dancing, met a chick and said Dad walked in, and he wasn't married yet to my mom. And I had a gal bent over the stall. He said, "Dad, you son of a bitch. Me and your mom's going to be married in 2 weeks. And that's going to be your step cousin." I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "She has pretty pink panties. I almost had them down, Doug. You saved me." And he knew not to let me touch that liquor again around the family. Now he's having me married into the family. He's going to keep the liquor away from me. So I'll be spouting bags. I've seen some at the family gatherings I didn't like, and I had a liquor down me. I'll be spouting bags. The only way to keep me blue-pilled was to keep me, well, my family was red. I was even too black-pilled. They didn't like the black-pill. So they kept me kind of a moderate by fucking, keeping the liquor away from me, which totally blue-pilled me. I'm blue-pilled until I get hold of the liquor. Now I'm completely black-pilled. That's my escape from the Matrix is fucking liquor. Once I get the liquor, I go from blue-pilled to black-pilled spitting facts outside the Matrix. So that's why my family don't let me touch Jack Daniels anymore. They don't let me go heavy on the liquor. And they dope me up nice and proper so I can't touch the liquor without sleeping a bunch of days. Because when I was on that liquor, man, I'd be spitting facts. I'd escape the Matrix in a second and be spitting facts. So they dope me up too much to have liquor. Me and liquor don't mix. In today's politically correct world, me and liquor don't mix. Especially it's in the bourbon or whiskey family. Boy. If it's in the whiskey or one too many fucking cocktails, man, I'm spitting facts. Also, you know, I mean, have is malt liquor. Anything besides that, I'm spitting facts. Tequila in it. Yeah, I gotta drink my things that have tequila or virgin daiquiris, whatever, because I get double shot. I say double shot tequilas, man, and all my cocktails, all my daiquiris and shit, man. And I'd be spitting facts in that restaurant. And after we went to the Mexican place, and I saw they wrote on the American flags, I just had like 6 fucking strawberry daiquiris, triple the fucking tequila shots. And I saw they had writing on the American flag, and I saw there was no writing on the Mexican flag. My stepdad thought he was steamed. Boy, I was spitting facts, and I know Spanish. So no one of the other patrons knew what I was saying. But my stepdad didn't know what I was saying. But sure did the employees. My stepdad just said they're steaming, shaking his head at him. I was speaking facts in Spanish to him about what they did to the American flag. And boy, they knew what I was saying. All of a sudden, I start speaking Spanish, man. I was spitting facts about how disgusted I was how they treated the American flag. And my stepdad goes, whatever you said to him, man. I just got to keep you away from that liquor. You can get yourself shot. He said he thought he was steamed. He knew whatever I said. That was the most intense Spanish. And when those guys were reacting, man, he said whatever you were saying, he had those guys scared. He says, good job, boy. I'm going to buy you a beer. I'm going to keep you liquored up. You defended that American flag. See, my stepdaddy was a Vietnam veteran, and I was like a big old guy wanting to join the Marine Corps at the time. And I saw they disgraced the American flag, and I was spitting facts in pure Spanish. I had triple tequila shots and all 4 or 5 of my strawberry daiquiris, man. I was spitting facts in fucking Spanish, and they were cowering, man. And fucking my stepdad goes, geez, not a couple curse words didn't phase them. Whatever you said to them, they were just fucking laying low with tears in their eyes. And I kind of had like 4 or 5 guys kind of and following us behind out the parking lot, made sure we leave. The biggest hombres from the fucking kitchen came in, and we're following us out the parking lot until we left. He goes, well, whatever you said, man, you spoke facts. And me and my mom went back, and that American, they didn't have that, but they had a different American flag, no writing on it. They had the menu prices written on the American flag. And I was so pissed off, I was spitting facts in Spanish, man. And boy, the next time we went there, there was a new one up with no writing on it. And Mom said, you do your stepdad proud, don't you? I said, I sure as hell do. He's put a couple drinks down, mate. How's me more on political active days? I tend to stay away from political stuff because it gets me in trouble. I mean, social affair, humans are going to do what humans are going to do, what they're going to do. I'm not necessarily religiously motivated socially, but humans are going to do what humans do. But hey, certain things, that's why I stay away from politics. That's all I got to say. And being blue-pilled and calm and doped up and blue-pilled is my best interest because once I get the liquor and a lack of pills in me, boy, they'd keep me doped up or otherwise I'm black-pilled, full of liquor and spitting facts. That medicine, they put me on powerful pills, man. Those meds took me at nights of Robert. Oh, I need a little nasal fucking snow. Problem in the Midwest, they cut it too thin. Those bastards where I used to live, man, they cut it too thin. Don't trust hillbillies with your nasal powder. Fucking bound to have your heart explode. Everybody powder up a fucking hillbilly. You go to a big city like Miami if you want to buy powder, if you know what I mean. Don't trust some small town fucking yuppie for fucking nose powder. You test them out by having a lace a joint with it, man. You know they cut it, do that. That gets your heart beating. You know your heart's going to explode. Those bastards, those hillbilly bastards, they're good at cooking metal, whatever, but they're not good at cutting that nose powder. Those Colombians are dangerous to deal with down in Miami, but they sure know how to cut it well. You come up to the Midwest and hit these hillbilly, these little Bethlehem's for a town, they can't cut the nose powder. They say you want what do you want to hook up with speed? I say, hey, I give them a stack of hundreds like this. I don't want to deal with that mesh shit. Do you have powder? And they go, oh, we had some. Our Uncle Frank did before he got sent to prison. And I said, this is here. Lace a joint. Here's 20. He lace a joint with it. I'll dust it. And I fuck that shit. You cut it too thin, bastards. They knew I was a money spender. I was too big of a money spender, man. I had the best fucking weed down. When I went down to that Southern Indiana where that guy was at, man, I had the best weed down. I had the best sources and everything. They knew I was willing to spend good money to get fucking high. They knew I had the money to spend. I always came up with the money. And I never asked for it to be fronted. If I did, I paid in full in 3 days. Rarely I'd have it spotted. Man, I'd always pay in full cash. And if I had spotted, I was always at a courtesy of had $10, $20 added to what I owe just to show common courtesy so they front me again. I paid 20% interest voluntarily just to fucking show my courtesy. I had $100 worth of fucking weed in front of me. I gave him 120 in cash just as a common courtesy. That was rare. I always had the cash, so or I fucking do favors like fucking allow them to come in my place to discuss business. No technology in the house, no ran down trailer, no fucking technology in it. Best place to discuss business, man. No cable TV, no internet. There's no beat up place, no clock radio for entertainment, man. Best place to fucking speak business. No beat up trailer, man. In the middle of the worst fucking trailer park in town where even the police were afraid to go. This place was such a fucking white ghetto I lived in, the trailer park. The police wouldn't show up unless there were 2 or 3 thick, man, with squad cars. They'd always show up at my place at 5:30 in the morning looking for someone else. And I come out with pot, and I'm like, Cody, who want to take me in? You know, such and such is fucking, you know, I don't know about fucking such and such. He ain't here. He lives somewhere else. He changed his address a long time ago. He says, you smell like pot, Josh. I said, so? It's a plant. He says, it's illegal. I said, healthy my nerves. You not smell like pot. You're not hauling me off to the fucking psych ward, are you? Or to have a psyche valve. I'm calm. And he goes, that's true. All right, see you later. He said, you're not always hauling me away in handcuffs or going nuts on my old flowers, do you? But I'm smoking the flower. You know I'm not. I'm smoking the flower plant. You know you're not hauling me away for a psych valve and handcuffs and shackles. He goes, that's true. One of my buddies says, I gotta give you speed. I go, what kind of speed you talking about? He goes, meth. I said, I don't do that shit. He goes, that's right, man. He just says he give it to me for free in 8-ball. Just watch Cody Hill chase me up the hill, buck naked, scratching with scratches all over my body. I'm a real paranoid, scratch myself. And grab a hold of 2 electrical cords. I have a hold of 2 power lines. He's chasing up the street naked. I'm ripping out a power line. I'm too smart for that, man. I'm too smart for that, man. I said my only speed is too pricey for this area. And the ones that do so don't cut it right. He got my drift. What I was into for upper pick me up, or I said, don't you know, I'm not in that shit. My only pick me up or is a bit too pricey for these dealers to handle. And these bastards do sell it, fucking cut it too thin. He got my drift and left me alone after that. But that was like what I was looking for, to steal a line of Coke in the morning with my coffee. Man, that's why I drink so many Red Bulls, man. Back in the day, I was looking to do a line of Coke every morning for my coffee, get a bourbon, shot of bourbon, fucking Southern Comfort my coffee. Go half the coffee, have a Southern Comfort, rest in coffee, do a pump of Coke. You drink down my coffee, you do the rest straight coffee. Do a line of 2, 3, or 4 shots of bourbon, smoke a pack, killing on filters, and that was my morning. With a big old hearty breakfast, man. Steak and eggs, fucking. They knew I'd been up for a bang. They knew I was doing a morning banger. There's this guy I knew in the area, he's a local blonde Irish guy. I was like, you want to come over for steak and eggs? He's like, I never heard of steak and eggs. I said, oh, I'm at a party today. Oh, Sammy knew. His name was Sam too. Sam.
He was blonde hair, blue eyes, with little glasses, little skinny. You didn't know what his orientation was. He had a girlfriend and a baby, but you kind of knew. He drifted, and I was like, hey, Sandy, and then it was like, and I was like, hey, buddy, want to come over for steak and eggs? And he knew fucking, there's a hearty breakfast. I had some party goods. He's like, I don't do that in hospitals. No, I just do weed. I was like, dude, the party goods. I do heavy duty. I just got done spending cash. Well, I'm going there getting T-bone steak and the best farm fresh eggs. And T-bone, I'm inviting you over for T-bone steak and eggs. It's going to be one hell of a pick-me-up for breakfast. You can have a lot more than a cup of coffee. It ain't that usual shit these hillbillies use. It's called snow to the nostrils and shit like that. And he knew that was a pricey breakfast. I used to do it, pick me up. Or especially when I said come over for a New York stripper filet mignon and eggs, man. He knew that was one hell of a breakfast, a hell of a pick me up. Or I was spending cash that morning for breakfast. I'd come out with a fucking a big handful of cash, buy a bunch of cartons of cigarettes, handful of steaks and eggs, and they knew I was fucking gonna be doing some serious shit for fucking breakfast. That's the week I partied. The old fancy breakfast, man. Lobster tails for dinner, man. Back in the day, it's been serious cash. That's after I got away from my ex, Richard. I learned to make money on my own. I made off big. Then came the time I was broke. Then came the time I had cash. Now I'm broke again. Cash comes and goes, But we all manage. Cash comes and goes. You have fun when the cash is here. And you get by when the cash goes. I'm going to get something to eat. Alexa, turn on 4.
Okay.
I'm going to have to get something to eat. I'm hungry. I want to talk because I'm hungry. But, yeah.
Time to watch some green texts. Calm down with my boneless chicken wings. Alexa, turn off 4.
Okay.
The most mesmerizing couple on TikTok. Oh, this is done. American Psycho edit. Or priest foresees the Pope's waking. I want to hear about calamity. There is a God let him screw people over.
I present to you, for your discernment, the visions and prophecy of Father Oliveira regarding the 2 current popes. Father Oliveira is a Brazilian priest who lives in Rio Grande do Sul, southern Brazil. This material comes from True Faith, a Catholic site in that country. To the best of my knowledge, Father Oliveira has received mystical visions and prophetic revelations from God.
Yeah.
At the home of a family that I love very much. They have a little oratory there. During the consecration, while adoring Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, I had a vision. The vision was like an image coming out of the Eucharist itself. There were 4 sharp images. First, I saw Pope Francis getting on a plane, waving to the people and smiling. The second image was that of Red Square in Russia. I saw St. Basil's Cathedral, and then I saw something similar to 2 stars colliding and a big explosion in the sky. The third image was the wake of the Pope Emeritus. There were few people around him and a lot of sadness. The fourth image was of Pope Francis walking alone through the streets of Rome. The street's appearance was like a post-war setting. He made his way to St. Peter's Square, but as he got closer, iron bars were raised in front of him. The bars were like those on ancient gates, and the iron was glowing. He tried to approach the square, but was unable to get through the bars. And on March 12, 2020, in a preview of future years, Father Oliveira saw the following. On this occasion, I woke up in the middle of the night and felt a strong desire to go to the chapel. I looked up from the altar and began to have a vision, the terrestrial globe rotating, with the number of years passing on it, and below I saw a series of images. I took out my spiritual journal and started trying to describe what I was visualizing. When I transcribed the images, I described them as I thought their meaning was. Therefore, I will tell you first the images I saw and, later, what I felt they could mean. I saw the Pope looking at the Russian flag. I interpreted the Pope will approach Russia. I don't know if he will go to Russia, but he was looking at the Russian flag with some hope. Then I saw a window being opened, and then there was a very big lull. During this lull, I saw people getting ready for something, stocking up on food. I interpreted a window, period, of peace will arrive between 2021 and 2022 as the globe turned, but that peace will be like a false peace for a short time. I think it's a period of preparation. I saw the numbers 2021 and 2022 and, just below, military personnel gathering. But they were as if they were in hiding in a secret meeting. I interpreted, in this period, I believe that the first conflicts will start, but the world will not know. Then I saw a great fire in the upper part of the terrestrial globe. I asked myself, will there be any catastrophe in the northern hemisphere? Then I saw the president of Russia pointing at the globe and chuckling. I interpreted, Russia will show her malice. Something will happen that will confirm a position of the president of Russia. His expression was like the one when you say, I told you. I warned. I saw Pope Benedict XVI being prepared for burial. I asked myself, will the Pope Emeritus go to the Father's house in 2022? Then I saw Pope Francis very hesitant to sign any document. He looked at the map, on which only the West appeared, Europe, America, Africa, and hesitated to sign the document. I interpreted, the Holy Father will have to make some very important decision that could change the course of the West. Then I saw the Brazilian flag smeared with blood or red paint. The Virgin Mary appeared, took the flag and shook it, brushing the dirt off the flag. I interpreted, in Brazil, there will be a violent period or a great onslaught of communism, but the Virgin will come to the country's rescue. The globe continued to spin, and I saw the numbers 2022 and 2023. Then I saw huge battalions marching, but the strange thing was that there was a very big silence. As in the image of the military meeting, I again felt that feeling that something was not quite as I saw it. I asked myself, will there be the beginning
Alexa,
of a war?
turn on 4.
Will she be silent?
Okay.
It was again the sense of a conflict that will not be felt or seen or heard. Here it was very difficult to understand. Then I saw the Pope hurrying to a plane. He was accompanied by security and was almost running. I didn't see the Pope's face. I felt the Pope will need to leave Rome for some urgent reason. At that moment, the globe spun and I saw the numbers 2023 and 2024. Then I saw only war. I saw people watching war scenes on television. I asked myself, will the world see the horrors of war in 2024? Will this appear on televisions? Or will it be a conflict that we will only watch, not being exactly physical? The certainty of a conflict seemed clear to me, but the nature of it was not. Then there was a chronological jump. On the globe, I saw the numbers from 2024 to 2029 flash by, and a great light appeared in the sky. I interpreted there will be conflicts or problems until 2029. In that year, there will be some sign in the sky. In 2029, the world will look to the sky and the conflicts and wars on earth will have to stop. After that, I didn't see anything else. It calls my attention that, again, the year 2029 appeared as the end or closure of something. And these were the visions related to the Pope. Let us pray for Pope Benedict, who is now on his deathbed. May God bless you and keep you. And
These images, these visions are interesting. I sometimes get them. I just take them with a grain of salt, but they're always interesting to hear about. I don't know. I guess I'm spiritual. I get my spirituality from a little bit everywhere. I just keep it in mind, okay, this could mean something, this can't mean something, you know. I feel better to eat my chicken. Alexa, turn off 4.
Okay.
I'll probably have a baked potato tomorrow for lunch. And Dad baked me a potato for lunch in the microwave. I don't know. Who knows? You just have your visionaries. I believe, you know, if there is a higher power, he'd only select people who actually mean well. You know, I mean, as much as I despise organized religion, there's always people that mean well in there. You know, that want to do what they're supposed to. That do it for good means. And I saw those people, you know, good guidance. I mean, I met people who I disagree with their religion, but they're just very good people, and they use our religion to build just do positive things around them, you know, for those around them. And I guess that's why I take part. So I read about different religions and they do good stuff, make things positive around me, be a better person. But actually participating in their services or doing anything really active is nonsense anymore to me. I was active in plenty of them and really didn't get nothing out of it except for a lot of hypocrites. But once in a while, you run across that special person that means something to you. It really changes your life and gives you insight. Like, for an example, the priest that did my catechism, I said, look, I said, Father Stephen, if the Catholic Church is not liberal like I thought it was, you teach me right. You don't teach me some type of watered down part. And maybe that's why I don't like the Catholic Church this anymore, because it's too watered down. It's not like, you know, what I heard in, you know, I told him, you tell me straight facts, Father Stephen. I said, I don't want to hear the watered down version of this new Alpha program. I want to hear what the old timers believed, what the old timers did when they kept the nonsense out of society, when people were law abiding citizens and the church was in disgrace. You know what I mean? We didn't have perverts among the, weirdos and perverts among the clergy. I said that I want that kind of rule stopped me, not when they're teaching, when there's wicked men in the clergy. I said, you're sounding like a good man, Father Stevens. I said, you teach me the old calls that he did. And that's why I'm incompatible with today's church, because morals, again, men are going to do what men do, but if they wear that, that cloak, they're held to a higher standard, in my opinion. It's kind of like when you're a police officer or something else like that, or a teacher, or whatever, or a fireman. And the second one, you're held to a higher moral standard, I believe, than the rest of people. That's just my personal opinion. Someone that's like, has to, everyone that goes to them depends on them, for advice in life or to stay safe. That person should be held to a higher moral counting. Because, they're giving grandma advice on how to, what to say to the grandkids when the grandkids come to her for questions. She don't know. She goes to priest or minister. And he needs to be counted on to give her the advice she needs to direct her grandkids in the right direction. Because the grandkids don't believe in any higher power once they go grandma. So their parents, aging parents. Or their parents are still active in that religious organization. Sometimes our generation ain't too faithful. Further down the hole, we'll go to our family members who are somewhat, faithful and devout in something, and if they don't know, they'll go ask somebody. And I want my answer to come from a source that will sure give me good advice. So that's why I quit the Catholic Church. I didn't find any type of source in the clergy, by reading the old writings, and I can find a sense of from the people I read, the old ways of doing things and follow them. I can find some sort of. I don't believe the same thing about the Sky Daddy. But I can find a source of life, simple life. The type of wisdom they have. And it's very general for all the people, Buddhism, Hinduism, all the religions where people follow the old pattern of wisdom. Not this new age type shit, not this new age type Christianity that was influenced by the hippie revolution. But the old fashioned guys who lived simple, like, Saint Herbal, he was one of the known for one of the hermits. And Saint Anthony was like one of the first hermits. They lived they're known for their very simple lives. In fact, I have a Saint Herbal rosary somewhere around here. Because there's a movie about him, and he lived a very simple life. He wouldn't even eat any sweets, including fruits. He took all comforts out of his life, all comforts and everything, to live and I noticed that, like, when I take certain comforts out of my life, I do get that sense of wisdom. So it'll be like a set of weeks or a year where I'll eat simple food, I won't broadcast, I won't use the internet, and just fully turn off from the world. And I come out of that humble. And I get that more from people who in the past would shut off any type of natural comforts, such as sweets and stuff like that. I can't fast by eating a very simple diet. I don't really have entertainment, and I just kind of rest and meditate, and read simple books on wisdom, and that rejuvenates my mind. But again, this old bastard's getting tired. I woke up at 1 o'clock. That man, sit on the stick. Cherbourne, that was his name. Yeah, he was like, well, him and Anthony, boy, they're both like just the type of guys that would chill, relax, and keep themselves. I'll call my mentor, my lady that helps me in the church, and just tell her that I guess I can't provide my medical records, and talk to my dad, and he wants me just to go to a professional, but go call the church to get my records.
Hello, this is Allison.
Hey, Allison, this is Josh Waters.
Hi, Josh. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. My dad's my guardian. He didn't feel comfortable trimming my records over my medical records over the church or going to Catholic charities. And I really don't. And we discussed it. And let's say I have a lot of trauma. I think is above their expertise, and we need someone with a real degree. And there's a trauma therapist at Bowen Center can deal with it. But again, something real weird happened right after Benedict's death. Pope Benedict's death. I've been having a lot of spiritual dreams, and I saw like a lot of people being judged, and I was like in a room of the final judgment, and I saw what appeared to be the devil, and he kind of looked like a crazy guy. One of the rapper's movies. I won't say what it is, but it's a scary movie. But as a mortician, ended up being the devil, and someone that's what he appeared like. He takes different appearances, and I got the sense that that's the accuser. He was getting ready to accuse me of everything I thought I did wrong, and all of a sudden I felt a peace. I admitted where I had favors in my life. I was before something like, but instead of being the Lord, it was an African American woman that was the judge. For some reason, the Lord took that view of like an African American woman preacher. I guess since my childhood, I listened to a lot of black gospel music, and that brought me back to my childhood, and that's what it formed. I guess that God took because He think it formed. And then I said, I failed here and there. Then after that, I said that's the accuser, and I talked about Mary and all that, and he went away. And then I felt soothing things saying, "Hey, Josh, I know your position, and I'm here for you." And ever since then, people online said confess to Padre Pio or Christ himself. But I feel like I now can confess to Benedict XVI. Now that he's in heaven, instead of going to a priest who may not understand my situation, that now Benedict's in heaven, he knows my situation. And a lot of people say when people are in my position where, the priest may not understand them, there's things we can confess to Christ, or you can confess to Padre Pio.
Sure. Josh, you know what? I understand that. I would send people that have shared with difficulty with discernment. I would like when I worked with post-abortion.
Yeah.
There were some priests that I would never send them to, even though they could, absolve them from their sins. They also needed somebody who was not just there to do that, but to listen compassionately. And so I do understand what you're saying, and I do believe that there are priests that have a special understanding because of their own family history or the experiences that they've had. So I'm not here to tell you one way or another. I just want you to know that if you wanted to meet
I'll
someone in person, I would make sure that
good.
you have that right connection.
Right, and I'm just giving you time to find that, and until that time, take your time. I know you're busy with other people, and when you find that priest, call and let me know. I know it takes a lot of time, and a diocese is busy, and we don't have the priests we have anymore because, very few people. We have a lot of priest shortages. Like I heard, there's like only 1 or 2 priests per 100 people in the average diocese these days. So, due to lack of location, so it ain't like 50 years ago when we had a bunch of priests.
Right.
So, what I'll do is confess Benedict 16, and somehow I never told anyone this, but when I in the church, I told a few people I did go to mass once. Well, I did go in the state hospital, but I took Eucharist once at Madison. I was like 15, not knowing I was a Protestant, and I didn't know the whole thing. I just thought you took it like at a Protestant church, and no one said nothing. But I didn't take it. Someone explained to me that I didn't take it in Ireland, Indiana, outside of Jasper, because the priest explained it to us. It was appreciation towards John Paul II when he died. I walked distance between Jasper and Ireland, if you're familiar with that area, a lot of long country roads. And I asked, if this is any meaning in my life, give me a sign. And all of a sudden I heard the word Pope Francis. And I asked the priest later at night, he gave me his directory number, has there ever been a Pope Francis? And this is right time they were in conclave for Benedict. He says, I don't think there has been a Pope Francis ever. No, there has ever been a Pope Francis. Because this is like in 2005. And that was my sign that during that time of a Francis, there will be a transformation in my life. And I remember hearing Pope Francis go back on that country road, attending the service, the memorial service for John Paul II. And I said, Lord, if there's any sign of awakening in my life, just tell me something. All I heard was Pope Francis. And it's time with Francis when I started really evaluating my times in life. I guess my nature is I don't like organized religion because it's not because I have anything against the people. It's because there's a lot of things we haven't discovered, like old writings, and stuff like that. They're always unearthing stuff that may have not found it until, the church doctors. There's a lot of stuff that, even Thomas Aquinas didn't know of that's been unearthed and stuff. And we don't even know what's in the Vatican archives. And I just know it's kept there for good reason. Like I have a feeling the Library of Alexandria is down there, because I know the church would not allow that stuff to be burned. That was a narrative that the zealots burned it because the church, with the bishops at the time, would have had that stuff taken to a secure location. Which from what I studied, when the people who used that library, Greeks and Romans, anybody in the world come from China, and they had advanced technology in some of these areas. Like I read when Alexander the Great went into India, a saucer, he described a metallic tea saucer coming from the sky and shot fire at his elephants crossing the Himalayas, and he had to turn back. And there may be stuff about our history that's so much different than we were told. And I was told that story about when Clint Eastwood visited Benedict at the Vatican. That one thing he showed him really flipped out, even Clint Eastwood. So there's a lot of stuff about our history that I just really have to know that what we're given is not the story. And because I've seen pictures from New York, if you see old photos, you notice the sky is white,
if you see the real photos, there's actually, you know how you get, it's always in the silent media, like the old band name was Jefferson Airship, you know, Zeppelins. You hear in old movies, people talk about Zeppelins. Well, the skyscrapers had docking stations in the late 1800s where these airships would dock, and that's why you have like these railings. And I guess there was some sort of mud flood or some sort of reset, and they took all that technology away. But once in a while, you can find like pictures of the 1840s to 60s of people in New York with electric scooters and all that. So I know we're not giving the full truth to our history and how advanced we really are. And some of these buildings that were mental institutions were some of the hugest buildings in the world until like the Pentagon was built. Now I'm wondering if these are restructured castles and buildings meant for insane asylums, quote unquote, for people who refuse not to talk about the old world. And the stuff like that I pick up on through my research, that we're not being told everything.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that.
Because I've seen some really old pictures of like actually old books. I read a lot of books published before 1870, and the version of America I'm given was actually that swans actually lived to be 400 years old, and we said at that time, and they're just like just a lot of explanations that were not found in science books. I used to see back in the before they had the internet, I used to do a lot of research on the library here in Huntington, and I went through the old microfiche, and also did research on newspaper articles. And they had people doing archaeology, and all over this area were finding, and throughout the southern side of the state, finding 12-foot tall skeletons and stuff. And all of a sudden now we don't find that stuff online. If all those mounds or that stuff was found, you get life imprisonment for digging there. But it had been 1800s, is full of like up to 30, 40, sometimes 200 foot. You see like these skull formations in the mountains that would look like 200 foot tall giants. And it says even when they went into certain lands that we were like grasshoppers, according to those people. And I'm wondering if some of these formations that look like actual skulls were not these 200 foot tall giants described in certain parts of Exodus. They said, or whatever, they said we were like grasshoppers to the inhabitants of those lands.
Wow.
And then they have signs. There's like formations that are huge, like 50 foot high. It looks like skulls that have turned to stone from ages. I think it's called, but petrified. And it looks like come from a giant that was 200 foot tall or more.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a lot of studying. That movie Trolls is about on whatever, I forget what network, what streaming service on. See, the people that write our history, they have to alter it, but they have to show us. And what I'm thinking is we do live in a simulation, but doesn't mean that it was not put there to hide us from our true understanding that somehow the devil, you know, it says that after the 1,000 years, the devil will be unleashed to see the world once more. What if we already had the tribulation, you know, the apocalypse, and you see these old buildings from around the time of the 1600s, and no bathrooms, no nothing. You see them completely built, impossible to be built, but there's no place like these restaurants, no kitchen. Where those people were the resurrected ones, and now we're living in the time after the millennium for the 1,000-year reign where the devil is allowed to come back and fool the people once again. See, that's how deep I think. We already had the millennial reign of Christ, and now the devil's been allowed to deceive us one last time. And that's why you see these old ancient buildings with no kitchens, no bathrooms,